Hello and welcome inside the gym here at Oak Mountain High School. My name is Foree for Oak Mountain Media. I'm one of our sports media department heads. Joining me today is Coach Chris Love of the Oak Mountain High School boys basketball team. Coach, you're the defending Shelby County Coach of the Year, which you got after leading the team to the first ever Final Four berth in school history. And thank you for sitting down with me.
Absolutely, appreciate it, Grant. Y'all do a great job. You and Tyler and Emily do a great job with the media. Did a great job through football season. Really excited to sit down with you.
Well, we're coming off a pretty good start to the season. You're 6-2 at the time of recording this interview, and you've just now gotten your whole team back together. You have 4 guys out for football. They're beginning with Evan, Noah, Gavin, and Cam. Obviously, we're really proud of the football run that they went on. But how big is it to finally get those guys back? 2 of them are your starters.
Yeah, it's always a transition, and it takes some time. And I still don't think our football guys are where they need to be yet from a conditioning standpoint, and just from having the ball in their hands. And it's always a process, but that's just part of it, and that's great. And I wish our football team wouldn't have hurt our feelings if they'd have been playing down in Tuscaloosa at all. I think that's great. The more that kids can participate and compete, the better. So we strongly encourage that. But no, it takes some adjustment. You really have a team that you practice with for 4 weeks, and then really more longer than that since we made the great football run. And then you've got a different team that's coming to practice 5-6 weeks later. So it takes some adjustment, but we've been doing that for years, and that's just the way it is in high school, the way it should be in high school.
Yeah. Well, obviously we're in 2020, and COVID's changed it up. I mean, we're sitting here wearing masks for an interview. How much different has it been from a coaching perspective? Just the way that everything is in 2020. You have to stagger the benches. You can't have anyone sitting behind you. No jump ball. Just from a coaching perspective, does it make it easier to plan for the game, knowing that you're starting without the ball, or just knowing that there's not going to be as many people in the stands? You're going to a place that's got a tough environment. What's that like from a coaching standpoint?
Yeah, it's. I think the hardest thing has been we really just haven't had, and again, it's a pandemic, so nobody's fault. We just haven't had any continuity, and it's true of a lot of programs. Going all the way back to the summer, we didn't really get to do a whole lot in the summer. I mean, we missed our 3 weeks of play dates and competitions, which for us is really huge because we have so many football guys. And then once we got into the season, my family actually went through and had the virus, and I had to miss, and we had a player that had to. So we really haven't had any continuity in our off season, which I think has kind of put us behind the 8 ball a little bit. And then once we've gotten into the season, things have kind of actually settled down right now for us. Hopefully it'll stay that way, knock on wood. It's different. I feel like, as the one in charge that, obviously and rightfully so, I'm having to be concerned about sometimes things that don't have anything to do with basketball and what's going on the floor, and that's fine. And that's when I thank God every day for Donald McMahon and Kevin McMahon and Kent Jackson, our assistant coaches, and especially Donald, who worked closely with me with the varsity. He's kind of taken over and done a lot of the on-floor stuff for us. So definitely different. Last night it was, we had a smaller crowd because we had to cut back our numbers, and it was just a different vibe. It just was different. But once we got out here and got to play in, and it was a great game last night, and the second half seemed like just kind of normal times playing a game.
Yeah. Well, you look back, one of the last things that happened before the pandemic was the Final Four run that I mentioned at the beginning. And the crowd was a big part of the reason that you guys made it as far as you did. Obviously, you're a talented basketball team, but from just as a coach and a teacher at Oak Mountain, when you look up into the end zone at 3 big games and you see all red or all white or all blue, whatever the color was for that game, what's it like knowing you have the support of not just the students but the whole community?
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome. It was probably one of the best experiences I've had in my coaching career. With the respect, our community, the Oak Mountain community, has always been great in supporting everything. Whether it's the arts, or whether it's athletics or academics or whatever it is, and for us to be able to do something we haven't done before, and then to get that support. And when we go to Jack State and the end zone's full of red, and then we go to the Civic Center, and it seemed like half the Civic Center down low was full of white. Yeah, especially. I mean, that's not everybody, not every coach gets that opportunity. Not every player gets that opportunity to play in those type of environments, and it was very, very special. But that, I mean, that's just kind of who we are at Oak Mountain. I mean, I really, people overuse the word family a lot, but we really are one big family, and support each other and love each other, and want to see each other do well.
Yeah, that's something we saw even through football season. Big crowds even in Decatur.
Absolutely,
definitely something that we always love. Now that you've had 8 months to look back on just that whole season, the Final Four run, what would you categorize that experience as? Like just as a coach, as a teacher again, but also just as a member of the community. What was that like for you?
It was. One of the things that happens. So it happens over about a 2 or 3 week period, and as a coach, you're so focused on just that next game. That people talk about stopping and smelling the roses and that sort of stuff and enjoying an experience, but you're just so focused on that next game and what we have to do to prepare, and film work and getting our kids ready and our walkthroughs and all of that. So you probably don't get a chance, honestly, to enjoy it as much as you probably should. But the peripheral of that was awesome, and it's awesome when you do it with a great bunch of kids. Yes, we're talented. We've got some really good basketball players, but more importantly, they're great kids and great people, which we have a lot of at Oak Mountain. And that just makes it all the more enjoyable to be able to see them have success and to be able to see them do something that they haven't ever had the opportunity to do before. So it was special.
Yeah, well, you mentioned success. You're having success so far to start the season. You off to a 6-2 start, 2 losses by combined 9 points to the top 5 teams in their classes. You're in the middle of a really tough stretch right now. You played who's currently ranked as number 1 in 7A Spain Park. They're undefeated. You played a really good Oxford team, which will play again later in the season. You played Ramsey last night. They're ranked number 1. You play Huffman tomorrow night. They're ranked number 1. Next week, you play 2 ranked teams in Vestavia and Sparkman. You didn't create an easy schedule for your guys. And what's kind of the mindset and the thinking as you go and make a schedule that's as hard as this?
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't real smart right now. No, we've always been, our philosophy at Oak Mountain, going all the way back to when I was assistant years ago, is this. November and December is about getting prepared for January, and it does no good to play people that you're just not going to get better playing and competing. So we've always felt like playing a tough schedule early on, and you're gonna take some hard knocks sometimes, and maybe your win-loss record is not what you want it to be, but ultimately that prepares you for January and playing your best basketball in January. So that's always been our philosophy, and also with this team needs to be challenged. That this team is a team that they need to play good people every night, and they want to. I mean, we had an opportunity to play some people, and I would ask the kids, what do you think? And say, yeah, let's play. It's just about getting, challenging our kids and getting ourselves playing our best basketball in January and February. And to me, the only way you can do that is by playing high quality people.
Well, with the Giant of Mountain Brook being out of 7A, they're down in 6A. The Phoenix State champion lead down in 6A, and you've already gotten back and beat them this year. Those are the 2 teams that played in the state championship last year, so you and Fairhope are the other 2 teams that made the Final Four. So from an outside perspective, from a media spot, if you will, you've got to be one of the favorites to get out of your area, get out of your region, and get back to the Final Four. And obviously, I know that's the goal for you, but how do you keep that from getting in the heads of the players? Like, we don't have to try, we don't have to practice, we're going to get there. They really do have to play hard. They got good teams.
Well, one of the things that we everything's a hashtag now, and we have hashtag DMGB, which doesn't matter, get better, and really that's our answer. It doesn't matter what happened last year. This is a different year. We need to focus on getting better every day. And I know that's, some people say that's coach speak. That's not. That's real world. I mean, that's what we all need to be doing as people, and trying to get better every day and improve ourselves. And that's all we're focused on. The kids will tell you, I have not mentioned Final Four, state championship. We just don't talk about it. It's really immaterial. We're trying to get right now to be as good a basketball team as we can be. And if we do that, maybe it'll be good enough, maybe it won't, but all we can do is control what we can control, and that's getting better every day and being as good a basketball team as we can be come January. So all that other, rat poison, so to speak, is, it's just immaterial. We're just focused on getting better. Y'all were setting up, we were doing our film work, and and y'all heard me, getting on us. We had a big win last night, but we had a couple of, we had some effort that wasn't great. We had some execution that wasn't good. So if we don't correct those things, then we're going to be sitting at home in January and February. So it's just about getting better.
Well, one effort thing that I wasn't planning on talking about, but it happened last night. And you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Cam Whitaker on a guy that's a foot taller than him. He just got all up in his face. And that's the effort that you're talking about when a guy like that gets in there.
Oh, absolutely, Cam. We were talking about at the beginning of practice when we were stretching. Cam did a great job. I mean, he didn't back down. I guess Cam's 5'8". I'm probably being nice there. And the kid he was going up against is 6'11" and long-armed. And Cam did a great job. Didn't back down from it. And that's what we like to be. The other thing, the other hashtag for us is grit. We just want to compete and fight hard every possession and be gritty. Don't give in. Don't give up. And that's kind of who we want to be. And we have that's our mindset. That's who we are as a team, but we can always be better.
All right. Well, that's Coach Chris Love, the Oak Mountain boys basketball team. And for Oak Mountain Media, I'm Grant Foree. Thank you so much for tuning in to this interview. Please go to our social media at Oak Mountain Media on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And starting soon on Facebook, we'll be broadcasting all of our live home games from right here. So really excited to be able to do that. Coach Love, thank you so much for taking time out of your week and your day to sit down with us.
Thank you, Grant. Appreciate it.